right now, I'm here. We're working. We went back to work today.
Must feel so good.
It feels so good, but it's so slow. Everything takes an hour.
Yeah.
Everything. It's the only thing that was good or bad is there's no traffic. So you can pop around and you can do whatever you want to do. It's terrific. But getting in a building and talking to this one, everything takes time, and you have to get your expectations managed, and then you have to manage the expectations of clients, which is a whole different
nother thing.
It's a whole nother story.
Oh, a whole nother thing.
It's a lot of fun.
Because people are like freaked out as it is, right? It's tough times. And like then doing a renovation and it being slower, and it's already been slow, it's already been delayed. It's, it's just crazy.
And in all these interviews, I've said to people, and I'll say it to you in a little while, what's going on, how it deals, this and that. But I will tell you in the last 48 hours, 9 calls from people considering buying places. That represents those 9 calls from 9 different people in 48 hours is a lie. It started Friday and it's been going to today. Now that represents the amount of calls that I had gotten the previous 8 weeks combined. So I don't know, maybe they know something I don't know, you don't know, but it's not dead. And one of the apartments is $15 million. So the whole thing of, well, the 1 bedrooms are going to move, but the bigger apartments, it's all about math. Every single person asked me, what should I be paying for this apartment? What is the renovation going to cost? And once I told them I drink that Kool-Aid, they were like, oh my God, where did you come from? I said, I came from Brooklyn. I've been here for 30 years. Tell me about the team, your team.
Yeah.
The page, I have to tell you something, like the Compass page is great. It's scannable, it's organized, your team members, easy to get to, your social media, whoever set that page up.
Thank you, yeah.
And it's very engaging. So tell me about this team you have.
Yeah, so it's great. I mean, there's several layers of the team, right? We have the Compass team, led by Robert Refkin, and it's super fantastic. What a great leader to have leading the way with, his insights and foresights, and how incredible that they've been working at Compass for 6-7 years, right? Building this thing. And then the timing is perfect for the technology and all the markets we're in and everything we're doing. And artificial intelligence, and they're hiring the best and the brightest in the world who are coming to work for us. So that's super amazing. And everybody's, for the most part, very collaborative. So it gets you pumped up. Like, I've been in the business for over 3 decades, right? And I feel fired up again and totally excited to be doing what we're doing.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, for sure. And the
in
person
a pandemic, you're fired up.
In a pandemic.
Yeah.
I actually did a round trip to the city yesterday to do a listing presentation, and it was crazy. It was so fun to be back in the action, right? And I brought lipstick and everything, and I'm wearing my face mask. I'm like, what are you doing with lipstick?
Right, that's right.
It was funny. And then you don't see the person talk, you just see their eyes. It's like, yeah.
But isn't it interesting when you're wearing your mask and they recognize you wearing a mask? And like, I know who you are, which goes to prove you can't rob a bank. It's not going to work. They'll know who you are. How many on the team?
We got 5 full-time and 2 part-time.
Okay. And how often do you guys connect? Is it an every morning thing every day? Is it a once a week?
Yeah, so what we've been doing since this whole pandemic is we've been having Zoom calls on Monday and Fridays.
Okay.
Just kind of like everybody connect, touch base, how you doing, what's going on. Like probably half of the call is about how you doing, how you feeling, what's going on, what are you doing, where are you? And then the other half of the call is, okay, how are we handling this new normal?
And you said 5 on the team.
Yeah.
What's it like driving them?
Look, I'm inspired by people who are inspired, and right now we have the team that, everyone wants to be the best they can be. Everyone wants to do better. We're all pivoting in these moments where we're still showing, but we're showing virtually. So thank goodness we had the marketing assets as far as videos to still entertain brokers, and brokers and their clients are people calling us direct. And so the show, the show's going on in a much different way, a much slower way, as you just said,
Sure.
but the show goes on.
I hope you're enjoying this, but are you enjoying this as it relates to your day-to-day operations?
As far as like,
Are you enjoying the virtual, the Zoom with clients and things
yeah,
like that?
actually, I really like it. It's taken a lot of the, unnecessary running around the city out, and it eliminates the who just decided like that property is not for them. So we make this as standard, like see it on the internet, give us a call. We're not releasing the video until we take you through it and we show you the things that we feel are important for you to see that you may miss by looking at the video yourself. And then we'll send you the video, and if you want to come physically see it when we can. And I think we're going to keep that practice, because it just, like I said, it takes a lot of the running all over the city senselessly out, which is great. We're all loving it.
Yeah, it's definitely saving a lot of time. And I like seeing people's faces as opposed to just talking to them on the phone.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay. So what's keeping you motivated and what's keeping you grounded in this insane asylum?
Look, I'm always motivated. That's part of my makeup. I always want to learn. I always want to grow. I always want to be the best I can be. It's just like hearing people, speaking to people, reading, watching movies, whatever. I've been watching the master class. I signed up for that, and just seeing like whether it's a basketball player, I forget his name, but and then I saw who was it? Anne Hathaway, Anna Winter, and just hearing what everybody has to say and how they handle things and how they run their team and the business and their industry. It's like it's all put together. So just listening and hearing from people and listening to people. I love it. I mean, it just feeds the soul and feeds the brain.
What about grounded?
Grounded. What's been super fun is right now we've been in the Hamptons since March 16th, going back and forth to the city every now and then.
Sure.
So when it was cold, we started running again. So it's super fun, like going through the neighborhoods, looking at the houses in a different way that you don't in a car. And then when the weather got a little bit nicer, I started swimming in our pool. Got the goggles and everything, and every day I'm doing a little bit more. So that's been fun to wake up and jump in a pool, and then jump in the outdoor shower and get ready for the day.
Now you're talking my language.
Oh, it's like
Now you're
amazing.
talking my language.
Go get the coffee. I love like going into town and getting the coffee. It's just a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
all right. It has the dynamic of that house. I assume it was a weekend house. Has being out there for the better part of 3 months changed your feeling about that house?
Funny you should ask.
Wait, hold it. Wait, go ahead. Funny I should ask.
Funny you should ask, because we put it on the market.
Oh my God.
We put it on the market. We sold it in a week, fully executed contract as of yesterday. We decided that we love this house. It's been amazing. It's almost been about 5 years, but we want something bigger.
Interesting.
And also the market in the Hamptons is on fire. So I don't think we would have seen these numbers if it was like September, October, November. But we're seeing these numbers now, so we figured let's do it. Let's make the, get the leverage of the asset in this kind of market, pause, watch, and then go in when things calm down a little bit.
So you'll wait.
Wait a little bit.
Wait a little bit. Sounds good. So you're going to say goodbye to the outdoor shower.
Well, I know. Literally, once April comes, I don't go inside to shower until like November.
That's it.
It's so fun.
And everybody's like, and do the people in your life and at your house say, "Aren't you cold?" And I'm like, no, not at all. I don't care. There's snow on the ground. I'm like, that's great. I want to put a retractable roof on it. so
I
that I
love
can keep
that.
the heat in. I have not taken an indoor shower since the pandemic, other than being in the city every single day.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like the best therapy in the world.
Yes, you feel like you're on vacation
Oh
here.
my God, it's two
Yeah.
pipes coming out of the wall, and that's it. It doesn't. It's the best. What's the best part of ice?
I love the ceiling thing. Although it is like when I'm in the outdoor shower, I love
Right, I want to see. You
seeing
want to
the
see the
sky.
birds.
The
100%.
oh my God, the birds.
Right.
Amazing.
But we had a lousy April and it was cold. So I
Sure.
was hoping, we could figure out a way to keep the heat in. But at the end of the day, if
Yeah.
it's being cold out there or being warm inside, I'm taking it out there every day of the week. Doesn't matter.
It's good cryotherapy, right?
Oh my God, it's awesome. It's almost that close. What's the best part of being in isolation? What's it been like for 3 months? What
Oh,
if
it's
you
just
look
been good. A time to like just, take a breather, right? We were all going so fast. Like everything was so fast. I think the world kind of got caught up in it. I mean, I got caught up in it. And it was just
sure?
so nice to stop and breathe and think and, just realize some things that you do want to do that you don't want to do anymore, and how you want to live your life, like, right? And then at the beginning of the pandemic, we actually slept late. Uh, we slept late, like just didn't worry about getting up at 5:36 and then, hitting it. And it's, I don't know, something like so nice about it. And I felt like I really needed it.
Great about it.
So yeah, so it's all good.
Are
It
you
was
back on
just,
schedule now?
ish.
Ish. It's a great answer. Ish. Okay. Depends on
I
the
mean,
day.
I love that it's light at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
It is. It's great.
As soon as it starts getting darker per minute in the morning, I get so bummed out.
And it's also really much harder to wake up
Yeah.
in February than it is right now.
Yeah.
You want to get up. You want to do stuff. What about podcasts? Any podcasts? And second part to that is, do you have the ability to focus and read a book in this? I can't.
I read a book, Willpower Doesn't Work. So I finished that. And then I really haven't been reading a book, but I like the master class.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, super
Those are
cool.
great.
I mean, super cool, like how they're all people who have strived for excellence and they're still striving. And like, what are the things they do to stay competitive for
It's a great series.
whatever world they're in? And it's just so fascinating seeing, like, from fashion to athletes to actors, like Anne Hathaway. I watched her and it was so fascinating to hear her speak so articulately. Is
Particularly.
that articulate?
I'm good
um,
with it.
something like that. And just to hear, like, how, right? So movies aren't filmed in sequence. So
Right.
how she does it at a sequence, and from, moving her hand to how she sits up to how she steps. It's just, you could all bring it back to like how we enter into a listing presentation or a showing, or
Sure.
what are we doing? And it's, it's just fun.
It's great. It is a great series. If Aaron Sorkin comes to the 92nd Street Y and he reads the phone book, I would buy a ticket. So the fact that he has a master class, and I'm a big fan of his work and all of his shows and all of his movies, and it's, and to get the backstory is fantastic.
Yeah.
But you really do get a takeaway from those things. I mean, masterclass is great. If you want to learn something, the Gordon Ramsay one, and learning how to properly cook a chicken,
Love it.
better than any class I ever took at Peter Cumpit. Was fantastic. And those were
Love
good
it.
classes. Those
Yeah.
were good days.
I'll have to
So
check that out.
yeah, and once you have the subscription, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great. You can just plow through them all. It's a brilliant thing.
It's $15 a month. It's like no brainer.
It's a rental of a lousy, B movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Any new hobbies? You said you're running again.
Yeah, so I love grilling. So the outdoor shower, love, grilling, love. I'm not a cook. I don't like anything about like cleaning, anything. I like doing deals. But I love, I crack myself up. I love grilling. And so I watched Bobby Flay grilling. So now I just did about 2 weeks ago, I did my first chicken cordon bleu on the
Nice.
grill. And
Did you like it?
my friends were dying because it was like, you, huh? What?
And
It's
you love
super
it.
easy. Yeah.
So I'll jump a second because that's one of the questions. What's the best thing you've eaten in isolation?
So there's been a couple of things. A lot of the restaurants are open here and you pick up, take out.
Yep.
So East Hampton Grill has like the best ribs. So that's one.
Okay.
My wife makes a mean pizza, vegetable pizza. I know you talk a lot about pizzas. I mean, I love regular pizza, but this is like healthy, gluten-free, vegetables, all
Nice.
these fake cheese, still good.
Still
Yes.
good.
So yeah. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it.
Those are good things.
Yeah.
Those are really good things.
I know you like pickles. You talk a lot about pickles. I took I got my props.
I always have the question. It's a question born from my daughter because pickles to her and olives, that's it. That's her whole thing.
So I found that this place called One Stop on the way to the Springs in the Hamptons has like a butcher. So we went there and we got some steaks, and then they had these garlic pickles.
Nice.
And
are they?
Horseradish pickles.
Yeah.
So I never had that, but these are super good.
So pickles to you, I'm going to jump all the way to the end and come back up. Pickles are a yes, and you don't get it. Pickles are a yes.
I like pickles.
Pickles
we love
are a
pickles.
yes.
We've been putting them on the side. We've been putting them on our meatless burgers, our regular burgers.
Have you ever made a pickle from scratch?
Never. I didn't even know you can make one from scratch.
It's the easiest. It is honestly one of the easiest things in the world to do. So I'm going to write it down and I'm going to send it to you.
Oh my God.
It's fantastic. It's great. That and pickled
Wow.
onions, like the two easiest things in the world.
Isn't that like a saturated market now, the pickle market?
It's totally saturated. No intention of stopping renovations to get in the pickle business. Acai is a different story, but the pickles, not a chance. French fries or onion rings?
Onion rings.
This is what a virtual hug feels like. It's the same thing to me. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. We have 3. When I heard you say you cook for your dogs chicken, and we cook, they get fish, pureed vegetables, sweet potatoes, every meal.
You're one of me. We're one of the same.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah,
I mean, they're thriving on that. I mean, a lot of the dog food's not good.
It's terrible, and I've got a finicky eater who is convinced. I have 2. They're twins, and the boy is convinced that food is poison. So every morning, a circle around the bowl, and I'm like, I love you. I'd never poison you. But I lost my mind with him the other day because I made a fillet. And I gave him a little bit of the fillet. He didn't eat the fillet. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You're a dog.
Wow.
So he got back in the game really quickly. The girl would eat cardboard with pizza sauce on it. If I gave it to her, she'd be like, she's fine. But she's easier. He's totally neurotic. He's totally off the wall. What's the best restaurant, or let me rephrase that. What's the restaurant you miss the most? New York?
New York, Pascal, the new one on 18th Street. So he was the chef at Gotham Bar and Grill.
Okay.
So super great. And Hamptons, I mean, you get to eat in all the restaurants. So
yeah.
I mean, not in the restaurants. You get to
everybody's been doing takeout. Are you sweatpants in the middle of the day person, or you got to get up and get dressed?
No, I mean, I was doing that the first couple of months, and now it just feels good to either put your bathing suit on, or today I'm wearing shorts for the first time.
Okay.
But yeah, I kind of I'm not, it was.
You got over it.
It was fun when the weather was colder. But otherwise, I've been putting the jeans on.
It had its moments. Roller coasters, yes or no?
No.
That's okay. Me neither. I'm fine. I've done one in like 5 years, and it was only because I
loved them when I was little.
Really?
Smaller. Yeah. I don't know. They make me nauseous now.
Let's get to it since you asked. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Cheese. The more cheese, the better.
The more cheese, the better. And Have you ever made a TikTok?
No, not yet.
Not
Have you?
yet. About 3 or 4 of them. I am reading online how TikTok is now going to be the new Instagram for business. So you kind of want to be ahead of the curve,
Yeah.
because when we were doing Facebook, people were doing Instagram and all of that. But I have to say, it's addicting.
Is it
You get
really?
on.
I've
It's
watched.
really, it's
Huh?
addicting. There's nothing. A friend, who said it? My friend Amir Karangi. He said there is nothing on television that is close to 20 minutes of watching TikToks.
All right. I
And
have
I'm
it on
like,
my phone, so I have to watch. I have to.
yeah, but you sit there, you get a glass of wine, and you literally watch what the world does. And some of it is moronic and absolutely insane, and some of it is hysterical. And you just sit there on your phone, and that's what you do. And yeah, it's all from my daughter, but she loves them, but she's a kid. What's
Has there been a property sold yet because of TikTok?
There's got to be. It's got to be. And if there isn't, I bet you by Labor Day, people are going to be, using it for that, because it's a very addicting medium, and it sucks you in. And once you're in,
Nice.
it's hard to get out. I think I know the answer to this. Beach or mountains?
Both.
Oh, I didn't know the answer. I would have went with the beach.
Both.
Okay.
I can't choose. Both.
You can't choose. All right, don't. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Mint chocolate chip.
That is the theme. 79% of respondents.
Are you
I
serious?
swear to God, it's the same thing. I get a salted caramel every once in a while,
Ooh.
mint chocolate chip every day of the week. It's not even a contest, not even close. Where is your happy place?
Wherever I am.
Great
With
answer.
my family.
I love that answer. That's my answer. Like right now, this is my happy place right now. And what's the first thing you want to do when we get the clearance or you feel comfortable to take off a mask?
So I love so the morning routine of like running or swimming or whatever to get your head straight for the day. I was boxing like 2-3 times a week at Gotham Gym down in the village.
Good
And
job.
so I like be so happy to go back and see my boys.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Do you love the boxing?
It's fun.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
hell of a workout.
I don't like spa where they hit me and I hit them. You hit the gloves. So
It's
he's
an
always like,
incredible
hit me
workout.
here. And I'm always like, because
Yeah.
I don't like hitting people. I just, it's a really hard workout. And I just love it.
It's a
And
crazy hard workout.
I love the guys at the gym and
It's great.
yeah, I mean, being in the city, right? It's different when you're at your second home or somewhere not in the city, but like I took the Ambassador and usually I'm driving in, I had to get my car fixed, but
Mm-hmm.
it was the first time like I took the Ambassador in, then I got in a cab and then I went to and you wearing the mask all day and it's like
Yeah.
that's intense. It's intense.
Yeah, it is. It's we ordered cotton masks, and it's like the most comfortable thing in the world, because the surgical masks at the end of the day, you feel it. This is almost like a big hug around your face. But the surgical masks at the end of the day, it gets you here too. It's like enough,
It's
and
so weird.
God,
It's weird. It's trippy. But
it
then
is.
you see like everybody's wearing them and that's trippy. But it's like, wow, everybody is in this. That was the whole thing that was just so when all this began, it was just like the whole world is in this.
Yep.
Like everybody.
No one's out. The
Yeah.
only people who are out are people who don't get the joke. But those people aren't going to get the joke, no matter what. But you walk around the city and everyone's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's surprising, right?
with good reason. What's a good fact that most people would not know about you?
Okay. So I lost my dad when I was 26 years old.
I'm sorry.
And, to me, there's nothing more dear than a father-daughter bond. And I, have lived my life to make him proud of me. And, he used to hold my hand and he was a successful business guy. And I feel like I've taken a lot of who he is into me. He was tough, but he was fair. He cared about his people. He was super good at what he did, and
Mhm.
family came first. So I feel like, I'm embody who he was as my dad.
That's
And
the that's the
yeah,
best answer I've done in 30 interviews.
nice. Thank
It
you.
really is. It really is. That's beautiful. That was great. Leading to business. What's happening? What's going on? Deals, no deals, or people?
Uh,
What's
yeah, so
after you
we
you're done with the swim?
after I'm done with the swim. Yeah, so we just did our first deal over a Zoom call. The broker was able, the buyer didn't see it. Buyers coming in from overseas through Microsoft, and she's lived here before. The broker was able to get into the apartment, so she was able to say, can you open the kitchen cabinet? Could you measure that wall? Can you take me into the master bedroom closet? So could you measure that, see if this piece of furniture fits? So she made an offer, sight seen, but not physically seen, and we got a
Hmm.
signed contract. So that was below 3 million.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we're doing virtual showings. We have people circling. I mean, look, business is off. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's
Sure.
it's it's on a pause, but we're doing our creative ways of, getting around things until we can get into apartments. But again, I think we're gonna keep this going as far as, having them see it on the internet,
Sure.
taking them through a tour,
Sure.
showing them things they'll miss if they were on their own, and then setting up the appointments. But keeping the
Well,
team positive, keeping them engaged. Compass has done an amazing job with like keeping in touch with us, developing, was on the verge and developed like amazing technology. I worked a lot over these past few weeks on we have a new CRM. So getting all my contacts into the CRM, because now our CRM has artificial intelligence. So it's going to be
ah,
able to tell you like when somebody's thinking of buying or when they're anticipating them doing something. And
wow.
it's super cool. So I wanted
Wow.
to, I mean, it was hours and hours and hours and hours, but it was fun because I deleted some people. I reached out to some people. It was good.
That's great. Do you have a favorite listing?
I mean, I'm fortunate where I have some pretty cool listings. So
I went to the page. You got some really cool listings.
and there's a lot coming. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we're excited
That's
about that.
yeah. There's going to be a lot coming on the market. What do you think buyers and sellers look like coming out of this?
Look, I think that if we're already at the Hamptons was like August and March. I mean, it was crazy, and it still is crazy, and it's
Yep.
crazy. I think they're going to be the people that are going to leave like they did on September 11th, right? And then I think there are going to be people who believe in New York and know that it's going to come back. It will. It always has. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen it over and over and over again. We've never seen this,
Right.
and there is a hurdle of getting a cure for this COVID-19, but it will happen. Maybe it's a little further out than we would all like, but there's incredible opportunity, not only with getting a great price, right? But also like interest rates are still low. So if you believe in New York, this is a moment before the lights go back on where you can like go through that window and get
Yep.
like a triple header, right? Price, timing, interest rate, and then look back where some of these people are going to be like, I should have. The people who believe and want to take action now will be the ones that, will be super happy.
Money's free. It's
So
not, I mean, money's free, and you have to. This is always when the bottom. This is it. So it doesn't have a lot more to go, and if you can pull the trigger, I agree with you. I think people who pull the trigger now are going to be looking back on that was a smart move. But
yeah, I mean,
typically,
look, sorry. Go
no, I
ahead.
was going to say, but that's where typically people make their money. They make their money on these moments.
For
That's where
sure.
the deals are done.
Look, they were about to say, the people that are tracking the market and calling the market,
Sure.
that the fourth quarter of 2019 was the bottom.
Yeah.
They were like about to call it, right?
Yeah.
And then all bets are off. So like you're getting deals now below what we were going to call the bottom.
Sure.
I mean, when are you going to see that again?
Sure. And
Hopefully
there's
never.
no, right, that's right.
Not in our lifetime.
Hopefully never. As this has been going on now, we're into our third month of this. There's two schools of thought. You may have a third. One was to kind of keep the business model for your team going the way it was going, or adjust. The other one is just to wait it out, see how this all flushes out, and then make your move. Have you been, adjusting your model as this has been going on, or have you just kind of been laying in the weeds waiting to see how this all ends up?
I mean, I'm not a laying in the weeds kind of girl. I
No.
think like I've never been afraid of change. And so like I pride myself on seeing when you need to pivot. And, it was crazy because like we were in Aspen on a planned vacation March 7th through the 14th, and then they closed Aspen on the 15th. But every day leading up to the 14th, us leaving, I was fortunate enough to have a ski instructor, and like we went from sharing a gondola, sharing a chairlift, to not letting anyone in our gondola, not letting anyone in our chairlift. Like there were crowds at the bars. We decided not to go to the bars, and so like, you were seeing live like all this change, and then you get
Sure.
here, and it's like, who knew what to do? But it was getting really scary. All these people
Sure.
getting sick and dying, like 800 a day. I mean, that's
Sure.
just in New York. That's crazy. So
It's crazy.
we were on like a lot of calls, a lot of Zoom calls with the Compass leadership, with fellow brokers doing panels, and just like hearing, listening to Cuomo and CNN, and just hearing what everybody's saying, and just like, yes, absolutely adjusting as we were learning more and more and more, right? First, like we weren't wearing masks, or on the plane ride, nobody was wearing a mask. We brought like wipies to wipe the thing,
Sure.
but it worked. And then,
Sure.
they need masks. So you got to, I think that's how you have to live life, is to, you can't just wait, because then you'll fall behind.
No, and also, the thing is, this kept evolving so quickly.
Crazy.
Every week was a different set of rules. Every single week.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And it's going to continue. Like, how do we go back to the office? Is some people on Mondays or Wednesdays, do you really need to go back to the office? Yeah, I don't kind of really need to go back to the office.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
for a couple of things, but yeah, so we're in it and changing and evolving and keeping our clients and everyone posted what's going on our end, hearing how they're handling things and what's going on their end.
What do you think is going to be the number one play coming out of this? Is it going to be estates, new construction, or developers? Do you think they're just going to have to bite the bullet and drop their numbers? Do you think that townhouses are going to be, a premium given current events?
I do. I think townhouses are going to come back, but then you're facing like a 2-year renovation maybe in some instances.
Sure.
I feel, elevators that open into your own apartment. I feel small boutique buildings, smaller number of units. I think the larger buildings, 2, 3, 4 plus 100, are going to have a hard time. And then new developments, I think they were already having a hard time.
And now they're really going to have to figure out how to move stuff.
How to do it, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
especially at lofty numbers. So it's one thing to move in; it's another thing to pay the number.
So the question I had was the $15 million person that called you. What did that start at 2025 or?
It did. See, that's listen, you're Toni Haber. You know what you're talking about. It started out at 22, and it dropped down a few times, and now they're asking 15, and I said, terrific. It's not worth 15. It's a summer-only building. Number one. Number two is it needs everything cosmetically speaking. Good building. I'd give it an A minus building. Tough management company. So renovation is going to be a process, and and then there's the carrying charges. Carrying charges on this particular apartment, $25,000 a month.
And that's
But this, and that whole dynamic, and I've spoken to people about this particular listing for a couple of years, and it has its challenges. The outdoor space is mind-bending. The outdoor space, you just want to live outdoors, even when it's 4 degrees outside. The real
outdoor shower. Oh, you gonna
no, but
can you put one in?
I
Oh,
could
the
put that
co-op. The co-op probably won't let you.
Oh, just sneak it in and call it a day. Come on. The challenge is, at what price do you buy it? And the thing about this particular buyer, and they're coming from out of town, the common charges were more important to them than the price. She's like, they want 15, and I'm like, yeah, you need to get it with a 12. Because I know what the renovation is going to cost, so you need to kind of have this conversation. But they started at a number that was so off the wall, so completely ridiculous that, and we actually did a renovation proposal for it at 22. The thing was, I didn't go, hey, what a great deal, you should buy this. I couldn't say that. I looked like an idiot. But now you're starting to get into striking distance, and at the end of the day, the location is great, the outdoor space is great, it's a phenomenal apartment. But if you don't buy that apartment right, you're insane. You got to be out of your mind. And keep that renovation reasonable. Not, I mean, anybody can walk into this place and say, 6 million, 8 million. I'm like, yeah, okay. People don't need me when they have that much money. Stupid rich people, can't stand talking to them. I like talking to smart rich people. Stupid rich people, they spend, they do whatever, they do what they want to do. So, but the conversations in the last couple of days and week and change, you get the feeling from buyers, they're not going anywhere. They want to live here. Some are younger and they have kids. Some are older. These people were empty nesters. They want a $15 million pied-à-terre. Sounds great. So, but that's
space. Yep.
Yeah, but you want to hear that, because if you hear that, then, I think the biggest problem that New York faces are New Yorkers. Because if you're in Tampa, or if you're in Austin, or even these people were up in New England, and you're not in the middle of this cyclone, you have perspective. When you're in the middle of this cyclone, it's like trying to put up an umbrella in a hurricane. But people tonight in Tampa are going out to dinner. They're social distancing. Tonight, if I want to get a steak on the east side, I got to go see Toni at T-Bar. They're going to pack it up. I'm going to bring it home in a paper bag. We don't have that perspective. They do. So they're looking at this the way you said, going, this could be the time to buy in New York. We may never have another time. But if you're in the middle of these winds, it's hard to have that perspective. I think that's the biggest problem. When you leave, you take a break. You come back, it's like going to boxing class at the gym. So I think that's the biggest problem.
And then I think the smart people, you always hear people saying like, well, what if the market's going to go down? I'm going to wait, whatever. I mean, number one, how much more could it go down? And if it does go down another 5-10%, you already got 10, 20, 30+% off. So yeah, if
it goes down another 15%, it's not coming back up. And then the question is, what's the timeline? If you bought stock on March 26th, you're a happy person today.
You're a happy person.
Who thought? But on March 25th, the world was ending. People were like, oh, whoa, whoa. And all of a sudden, Apple didn't go out of business. They're still cranking out iPhones. So, I just think it's kind of like there's a game plan to follow. If you panic, you're dead. And if you're not in the city and you want to be in the city, this is the time.
I think,
Sorry?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I hear you. And I think it's a window for the real discount. Look, I think unemployment is high and people are scared, and who knows if schools are starting, and it's the summer, people were leaving anyway, but now they're leaving, but they're not going to travel and get on a plane necessarily. And so, but yeah, I mean, if you have the foresight and the stamina and you believe, and
then you make the move.
Look, they're buying out here. They're not even like negotiating.
No.
Go figure.
But the question is, I've been in Quag for years and years. Nice. And it's beautiful now, and it's great. And you walk the streets, and we walked down the street, and we made a left-hand turn, and a neighbor, 4 houses from our street, in the backyard, they have a horse. I've been on the street 16 years. I never knew they had the horse. When did you move here? 1994. I'm like, holy crap. The horse, they brought the horse when they moved here. The horse is like 20-something years, 30 years old. So you can appreciate all that. But as we're walking back, I turned to my girlfriend and I said, but you don't want to be here in February because there's nothing going on here in February.
Yeah, exactly. Except
and
for
you just
the
have
fire. That's another thing. Fires. I love fireplaces. Oh my God. Like,
all right.
we had one every night. I kept having to order wood.
That's a
outdoor shower,
I love
fireplaces.
that. Outdoor shower, fireplaces, Aspen.
Aspen, yeah.
We were meant to do this together. Because you said Aspen, and I had to like shove my face down, not to smile.
Yeah,
the best.
Love
the
that.
best. I left off one fun food question, and then I'm gonna go to the end. The fun food question, although you're running, so you may say, you may pass. Oreos, original double stuff or mega stuff?
Original.
Original.
All
right, you're an original girl. Tell me, as my closing question, what's the takeaway from all this?
From this whole thing?
Yeah, what's your takeaway?
Kindness is so important to yourself and to others.
It's another good answer. My father was an ophthalmologist, but I got into the business I'm in because of my stepfather, who in May passed away 30 years ago. So when you said your father, I thought,
yeah. My dad passed away about 31 years ago too.
You made your dad proud.
If he was alive now, he'd be 102.
He'd be taking a nap. What do you say? You did him proud. Nice job.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Really. And thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure.
Namaste. I'll see you when the dust settles.
Yeah. Maybe some mint chocolate chip.
Absolutely. I'll bring it. Don't worry. From where?
After the outdoor shower. Oh yeah, yeah.
Who do you want it from? This very mint chocolate chip people are very particular.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Right. Oh my God. That's another conversation.
So where do you want it from? Where are you getting the mint chocolate chip from? Because I got to bring it, so I got to know where I'm going.
In East Hampton, right here.
Okay. All right. Friendlies and Turkey Hill. I've learned more about the ratio. It's like living in a Seinfeld episode in my house. These chips are larger. There are less of them.
Oh,
these chips are smaller.
What about sprinkles?
It's funny. They're purists, except for the girlfriend. The girlfriend throws lots of chocolate chips into everything. She's very like, do you have more chocolate chips? Yeah, throw that in. That's
the crunchy thing. There's something about the crunchy thing.
Yeah, she calls it texture. She's like, I need texture in everything. I'm like, and she's like, and you're good with everything. I said, I'm happy if it's cold. I'm good. I'm fine. Easier. Enjoy the afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye. You were terrific.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.